Good. Before the actual program of the lightning talks start, we're going to give you the solution of the data portraits, and we're going to do the raffle. So thanks a lot for everybody that participated. I didn't expect for us for the sheets to run out, but they did. So most of you then understood this part. So the gray one, the gray side, was already the solution, and you had to solve 3 categories. You had to solve for which better describes the area of Python. If you had to play a game, would you rather play? And if you could choose one superpower, what would you choose? Now, first comes the solution, and then we'll see. So for the first category, the first 2, red and blue snakes, were the easy ones. Yeah? So lots of people have the blue one here. And the second next one is software development. Then the third most popular is the orange one. Who has an orange Python that can tell me what you have? Yeah, tell. DevOps, orange? No. So, no, because this was also this happened a lot that people didn't remember what they had. So it was a bit misleading. So I meant the bottom one. Does somebody have the orange now? Yeah. Web development, yeah. So orange was web development. Then the next one was the yellow one. DevOps, yeah, somebody said. OK. And then the next ones were a bit more tricky. The lila one. Somebody have the lila one? Yeah? Community. Those was already difficult to find. Then we had the navy one. Somebody with navy? I don't see. Anybody? OK. So it was governance. And then we had the green one, the green Python. We have one with the green Python. Well, it's the one that's left, so security. And those ones were really, really, really difficult to find. If you have here distribution, so we have almost half is data, but we only have four security. And 7 governance. Yeah. So for the other categories were easy. Everybody had them correct. And there were like about 100 submissions, I think, and I checked, and 22 were correct. And from these 22, we will raffle 2 to give out these prizes. And I will ask Irina to choose one. So I refolded the paper, so it's very fair. Okay.
Okay. I'm really not looking at it.
Yeah, just take one. So the first prize goes to Emek Kotzluklu. Are you here? Emmet? No, Emmet. So shall we draw another one, Jan, then? OK. Sorry, Emmet, sorry. Oh, no, but then you have to throw it.
All right. Hope we will be luckier this time.
So the second chance for the first prize goes to Christine Trolle. Are also not here. Okay. So maybe we'll keep on drawing until we find somebody around. Christine? No? No? OK. So one more.
Maybe it's not my lucky hand. Let me try another one.
Okay, Rafael Rutscheffer. Yay! Wow! So the prize is a designer notebook and a set of Dear Data postcards for you to do data sketches. Do you want blue or yellow? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the second prize goes to...
You see, the
please,
right hand
take, please take
works a little bit better.
The lucky one. Yeah. Lisa Marie Krause. Oh, they're in the same team. Okay.
What a great teamwork.
Yeah, great teamwork. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for participating. We will be uploading a blog post also with the solutions and have a poster so everyone can check what they're actually put on your badges. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
So guys, after resolving all this data riddle, we can proceed with lightning talks. We got 11 submissions today, and it's 11. But one is drawn through, I think. You think so? Well, maybe this person will come. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah, maybe magic will happen. So the rules are simple. You have 5 minutes for your talk, and it's like a hard stop. And Sebastian will also explain how will we indicate the end of the talk.
Yeah, so who knows lightning talks? Who doesn't know lightning talks? Okay, yeah, so it's enough. So lightning talks are very, very quick talks, 5 minutes. So unlike maybe your CEO, if your CEO says, I want to do it very quick today. Today we really have a hard stop after 5 minutes, and we will indicate this one 30 seconds before the 5 minutes. I will show this, and you will all do the same. So we do a trial run. So please, everyone doing this. Louder a little bit. Okay, perfect. And then, after 5 minutes, we do a very strange thing, this one. That works, that works, that works. Okay, that's it. So, maybe you read the first one? Yeah.
So, please welcome the first talk, bar camps.
And
we have to set this up first, okay?
So maybe
you have to talk a bit about this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So maybe while we prepare this one, I will. So maybe it's a good idea if the speakers already come near here. So are you already there? So all the speakers just be there somewhere and be prepared. I hope this is quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. No,
we don't see anything.
Yeah, I know. I have to go to the other screen first. It's already there. Okay.
Okay, so let me explain also what we are going to do today. So we just saw this data riddle, data maze, and we will just get some impressions of you. So why you chose some of the questions and so on. So we will do this always in between when we have the changing of the laptops. And I hope we can start with the first one. Is this your first slide?
This is my slide, and this should work.
Okay, then let's give a... Okay, I have to
and
stop
this is it's going to be a short one. We don't have to time it.
So
we'll find out.
Do we stop the time after you're applauding him or before we applaud him? So, okay, give a big applause. Welcome, and we start.
Oh, thanks. Hi, let's see if this works. Hi, my name is Martin, And on Lightning Talks, you do not always show things. You also introduce other events. And normally you don't take the full 5 minutes for those. So I'm not going to use all of that. But I would like to invite you to 2 Python barcamps happening on weekends in Germany this summer. If you've never been to a barcamp is just like a small conference, but it does not have a fixed schedule, and it doesn't have a list of speakers. And those people who come on the day decide what the topics, what the sessions of that day will be. So who comes to barcamp will bring something, an idea, something they want to talk about, and will find other people who want to do the same. And as these are Python themed, this is really great to meet other people who like Python as well. So the first of the 2 events is the Python Camp. And this has been going on for 13 years. It's now the 14th year. It was for a decade in Cologne. Then we had to go to online for COVID. And we decided we all need to have a break. So this year it is in East Germany for the first time, or in Eastern Germany for the first time, on the beaches of the island of Rügen. And you can reach the event by public transport or car. And if you prefer something more south, like at least from my point of view, a month later there is the Python camp in Leipzig. That's at the last weekend of July. The other one is the last weekend of June this year. Both events are supported by the Python Software Verband. They target a German language audience, so the barcamps will be in German. You can find the Python Software Verband at the booth 1 floor down, where you can also ask more questions about the barcamps. And really be sure, we target all kinds of experience levels, from beginners to Python experts. You just have to have an interest in Python. And another good thing, the events are mostly or fully paid by sponsors, so they don't cost much. For more information, please visit pythoncamp.de or come to the booth and ask us more questions. Thanks.
Okay, that's just perfect. So now we have to wait for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. No, so of course the next speaker can come up and
in the meantime, I'm just interested who is playing which games. So, for example, who noted down that board games are their favorites? Oh,
maybe you stand up. That's better for your health.
May I ask you which games do you like to play?
Siedler von Catan is for my favorite.
Yeah, I also like that one. That's a great one. Thank you. So, what about yours?
I like Quirkle. Oh, no, it's not a board game, if I think about it. Zadra? It's probably not well known.
Yeah, that sounds intriguing. Thank you. So what about you?
Yeah, I like co-op games because then I don't lose. So I like, there's this game called Paleo, which I like. That's kind of new. But yeah, mostly co-op.
Thanks.
We are already finished.
Okay,
But
we'll
you can go on. Okay, so I don't have to know what's her name. Drishti. Drishti, welcome. Big applause. And we're going to start.
Hi everyone, I'm Drishti Jain. I flew in all the way here from India, and I'd like to present an interesting take upon creating our own visual world. We all are engrossed into creating the virtual world using a number of VR applications. But one thing somewhere along the line that maybe we tend to ignore, or something that we can focus on a little more, especially with Python, is to make our product, our any kind of data that we are working on, to be more visual. Just to kick off, to tell you a little about myself, I come from a computer background, and I'm somebody who likes to work a lot on Python and also share anything new that I'm learning with the fellow folks in the community. I also have an initiative called Skill Up with Drishti. That is the QR code, and you can find all details about me there. And that's my Twitter handle, so I'm pretty active there as well. So data visualization, the best way to describe it is the modern equivalent of visual communication. Just like at conferences we come and we tend to interact with folks in person, that networking has a very different impact as compared to something that we are doing just virtually or on Discord, Twitter, LinkedIn. So why not bring that power of visual communication to our presentations, our data itself? To just kick off why it is so crucial, let's look at how we interpret data about cybersecurity breaches across the US. So this is the data about it. Giving you a couple of seconds. It's so amazing, right? Or is it difficult to read? Was it difficult to interpret, right? And was there anybody who could understand any information from this table? Nobody, right? So that is wherein the power of visualization comes into place. This is another representation of it, wherein the individuals affected per state are indicated. This, if we spend even a few minutes, say 5 minutes, we'll be able to interpret about it. So that is the power of data visualization. It helps us make better decisions, as well as gives us a meaningful story of the data that we are working on. And the open source tool called Orange is very, very useful for it. Even if you are a beginner, Orange is there for you. You don't need to even know a lot of coding in order to get started with it. It is a drag and drop kind of an interface. So you can add your data. These are different widgets. So your file would have all the data. Then you could form a table out of it, adding different widgets to it and connecting it using lines. And it would give you a visual feel of what would happen. And you can also create confusion matrix. You can create different visualization plots. And it is component-based as well as very interactive and intuitive for somebody to even use it for the very first time. You'll see even advanced plots like scatter plots. Then you can take decision trees. You can select what part of the decision tree that your data is working upon, and select that and work on it. And also import this. You can do it through code. You can import Orange as a library. So if you're deep into coding, you can incorporate it as well in your code. Or if you're somebody who's just getting started with data visualization, directly the desktop app of Orange is very useful in that case. And this is the example of classification using distribution, using decision trees for the data. And as you can see, it is very intuitive. It also uses a lot of colors. So it is also good to learn new machine learning concepts and get it into practice. You can try silhouette plots, box plots, heat maps, and everything that you are interested into trying, even if it is a complex machine learning concept, but it is good to have a hands-on experience using Orange, and that will make it very, very easy for you to understand about it. And it provides great visualizations and a lot of customization as well. So I would like to say, go ahead, make data speak volumes, and just bring out the beauty that we see around us into our work as well, and have our data to be more visually beautiful. That's it from my end. Thank you, everybody.
Maybe 5 minutes is too long, right? So it should be 3 minutes, right? So maybe the next speaker is just 1 minute or something. No, we keep the 5 minutes. That's just fair. So.
Yeah, I continue my survey. So we saw there are quite many board gamers here. What about video games? Come on. Whoa, I didn't mention that. Actually, I thought it's more popular than board games. So what do you like to play?
I mostly play single-player video games on any console, like Hogwarts Legacy, maybe you heard about it, remake of Resident Evil, yep, that stuff.
Okay, thanks. So what about you? What's hot in the gaming community now?
Oh, I don't know what's hot in the gaming community, but Minecraft is always hot.
Good choice, classic. What about you?
StarCraft 2.
Okay. So I'm going here.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Nice. So guys, reveal.
RPGs like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Counter-Strike.
Good. So
we are ready.
You're ready, okay.
So, a big applause.
Simone.
Simone.
Yes.
Okay, a big applause, and I will start. What? Where's the applause? No, wait. We haven't practiced this thing here, so now you welcome him with this. Perfect, right. And we start.
Hello, everybody. I'm Simone Rabutti, and I represent Tech Workers Coalition Berlin here today. What is Tech Workers Coalition? It's an organization and it's a community of tech workers like me and you. So we are all tech workers trying to build collective power and projects that improve our industry and our society. It's a space where tech workers can bring together technology, workers' rights, and positive social impact. We are here in Berlin, but we are throughout the world. We have many chapters in the US, in Europe, and one even in India. And we are a network of chapters, but we are part of a global movement of tech workers that are trying to reshape the tech industry, to bring democracy to our workplaces first, and to give more autonomy to workers, but also to address discrimination by race, gender, nationality, and caste, and especially to fix the damages that our industry has done to society through the development of harmful technology. Here in Berlin, we have a very active chapter that meets every month in a general meeting that the next one is going to be this Wednesday, so you're invited to come. And here the different groups present what they're doing, and tech workers like you can get involved into one of these many projects or come with their grievances or problems or initiatives if you want to organize in your own company. Here in Berlin, we cover many topics. One that is very hot these days is mass layoffs. Many big companies, many startups are laying off workers here in Berlin. And we are supporting workers. You might have seen some of ours outside of your company handing out leaflets and explaining what your rights are. We organize Q&As, trainings for both individual, let's say, action. So never sign what your employer gives you, always go through a union, always get protected, or collective actions. We organize study groups on technology, on the history of the workers' movement, on what are workers' rights in Germany. And one of the things we are known for here in Berlin is our network of Works Councils organizers. So most of Tech Works Councils members are part of Tech Workers Coalition to some degree. And we help them let's say, bring better working conditions to their colleagues. Why should you join? First of all, if you want to know other tech workers like you and share experiences and have people that can understand what you're going through, if you're being discriminated, if your boss is not giving you the best time, here, like at Tech Workers Coalition, you're going to find people like you. Second, if you want to organize a Works Council in your company, we can give you support, we can give you training, you can meet others that went through the same process. And also, if you want to build better technology for a better society, we do a lot. We are involved in many of these projects that are software development or data analysis or other technical projects that have a positive impact. So follow us on our social media, on Twitter and Telegram. Check our website for details about the general meeting. I don't have a QR code, old-fashioned, I don't know. But please visit the website and see you on Wednesday. Come to me after this talk if you want to know more, if you want to get involved or start organizing in your company, I can give you some information. Or also if you are impacted by layoffs, especially in big companies like Zalando. Thank you everybody for listening to me. In a world that is burning, changing the tech industry is not only possible, but necessary. Together, we are stronger.
Oh, can you please stay here? It's really working. It's actually counting, so I'm not cheating here. I forgot to say, so we tried something new. This year we want to empower non-government organizations, non-profits, and so on. So this was an idea to give some space in the lightning talk. So we approached some of those organizations, and this was one of them. We will have Correlate tomorrow, and there's one more, I think. I'm lost. Is there? Okay, we will see it. So thank you very much for this one, and it's a great work you're doing.
So while the next speaker is preparing, I'm interested to understand which superpowers people would like to gain. For example, who chose to be able to talk to animals?
I guess so. Yeah.
So please stand up. Do you have a pet, or why do you want to talk to animals?
No, I thought it was the best out of the list because it's funnier. Probably they have great tutorials and things like that, I don't know.
So any particular animal you would like to have a conversation with?
Yeah, I think raccoons would be a great conversation partner, yeah.
Okay, I think philosophical talk would be a nice one. Thank you.
I just want to see which one is
So, do you have a pet or a favorite animal you would like to talk to?
Not really, but it would be really interesting because, I mean, most of the time I think something like, give me food. Now, please, food. And yeah, it's a bit like me.
Okay, yeah, nice, thanks. Anyone else? Yeah?
I was actually thinking more about wild animals, like imagine traveling somewhere in a rainforest and the animals don't attack you, but you can talk to them and have a unique experience. So it was really the best superpower, most unique one for me.
Sounds, yeah, nice theory. Thank you. You're ready?
We didn't have to change anything, so we were ready from the beginning, but great answers.
Interesting ideas.
And again, let's welcome Tabea. Wait a second. Wait. So actually, I take longer than all the talks. So, welcome again, and we go on.
Before actually diving into the topic, I want to start with a question. Who of you loves bread? Because I certainly do. Quite some people. Fellow bread lovers. Awesome. And if you're... like 2.5 years ago, I happened to, need something to do at home, and I thought, I do not only love bread, I'm also an engineer. I want to make a process of making my own bread, sourdough bread. I was totally into it. And I got started. I got some time at hand and did my research. What do I do to actually make a successful sourdough, like a living creature in my very own living room? I did some research. I found out that it's actually needing some attention. You need to feed your sourdough. You should name it. If you do not name it, it will not survive. Spoiler, it did. What else? I researched something else, and then I was like, I just get started. So I had the flour, rye flour, and I didn't need anything else, just some water. Did everything according to plan, and let's say the bread that I made was a brick. Like, it was not this fluffy sourdough bread that you imagine. It was flat out a brick. And my boyfriend, who's always very supportive, was like, Tabea, I think you might do that again. That's not working out. And I was very disappointed because I made my very first bread and I was very, very proud. Now I'm coming to the topic that I want to talk about, and that's the idea of building one to throw it away. It took me some time to get the courage to actually start again. And not only starting again, but dealing with failing at the first time, like having something, but it's somewhat working, somewhat not working, actually evaluating what I did wrong. Spoiler 2, last week I've successfully done my very first edible, beautiful looking sourdough bread. Thank you. And I did not only enjoy the bread, I also learned something very important. starting at some point with the information that you have is super necessary. You will fail, and if you accept that you're going to fail and that you need to reiterate and try again, it's easier to build one to throw it away. And I think that's something software developers are pretty good at, and I want to put emphasis on it because it also helps me in my day-to-day work. I do some research, I start, and then I have something that I can evaluate and improve and actually build software that's fun to use in the long run without overthinking things in the past, mainly because you can throw a result away, but you will never ever throw away the experience that you gained building that result. And that's what I hope you may take home with you if you did not think about it that way.
It's really great, thank you. Very inspiring and tasty, hopefully. Next time you have to bring some of the bread, maybe. Could it be we somehow skipped Erin? Where's Erin?
In the meantime, I reached the leader group at the data riddle solving competition. So what was your strategy? How did you solve it? And how much time did it take you?
Actually, we are quite a big group, and with different interests, and different backgrounds. So actually, we could almost solve it with just images. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But of course, we also talk to lots of the peoples out there.
Okay, yeah, that was the idea. So, do you need a few more minutes?
Again, no laptop, so.
Wow.
But
Okay.
take your time. It's interesting. Okay, but then welcome, Erin. Hey, wait. Okay, so a round of applause for Erin, and we start.
We love a good applause. We love being here at PyCon. Who's excited? Okay, that was a very half kind of excitement. You guys need a little more caffeine, maybe a little beer at the end of this, whatever suits your boat. I've been working in open source software my entire career. So I've learned a few things, as in what not to do. And here I'm going to provide some few tips of what you probably shouldn't follow. First off, barriers. Build them. Hire nice 10-foot tall obstacle courses. I want to see electric shock to underground tables and gender diversity. We love it. Please, barriers high, always. Please don't do that. We love a good acronym. Who knows what WDYMYDGI stands for? What do you mean, you don't get it? I know. Anytime you have an acronym, make sure don't explain it. Definitely leave it out of your documentation. People do not want to read that because who wants to read in the first place? Why need documentation in the first place? I saw that many of you were mind readers, actually. I know. And your code is the best code out there. Oh yeah, I heard some good affirming yeses. That's right, your code is the best out there. Always be holier than thou. Who needs tests? Pfft, not me, Your PRs, top of the list, always. Who needs Scrum either? Just push it right to production. Let's have some fun. Give QA a heart attack or two. We're all working on our heart rates this year, right? That's a good way to get a workout in. Just push it straight to production. New contributors? No way. That's cringe. You only want to invite your friends' cousins, and maybe your friend's cousin's dog. Who knows what kind of pull request they'll create. I bet they'll have some new issues. I know my dog's been begging for treats. That's how you get conclusion in open source. And of course, open source means free. I work at an open source company. I don't need a paycheck, right? Well, none of us do if we are working in open source. All we need is some good stars on our repos and some high fives and someone to tell me I'm doing a good job on Twitter every so often. Bonus points if some dude, preferably straight white dude, tells me how much their code is better than mine. Love it. We love to exploit our contributors and maintainers. The internet doesn't shut off, so why should they? 24/7 work life, baby. Let's keep it going. Your PRs are always your highest priority. What about that community? Don't need them. We've built the best code without them. And lastly, the last thing to keep in mind as we come to the world of open source is anybody can use your logo. That's right, forget legal, we don't need them. Definitely don't contact them once or twice. If you've ever had to deal with marketing, who needs it? Just let any group use your logo. Terrible, right? But before I leave you with this, the last thing not to do in open source is please make sure that you don't get involved. I mean, we need to make sure that you're not thinking that open source isn't for you. Wherever you're at, documentation is code, and I'll leave you with this. While my talk may have been in jest and had a few good humors, but seriously, I do want a good pull request obstacle course, so if anybody's building that, hit me up. I'll find some VC money or not. But there is pull requests and issues open for everybody at any skill level. Documentation is contribution as well as good handy construction. So thank you, and we'll stay for this last little bit because they haven't given me the light yet. We have a talk tomorrow at 10:30 in the morning, so I hope to see you there, and we'll learn about some reinforcement learning tomorrow morning. But thanks.
So the next speaker here on the list is Irina, is that right? Ah, okay. Can you please maybe talk slowly and explain everything a lot?
Take your time with the laptop setup. So, the superpowers. How about reading minds? Anyone interested? No? I am. You are? Where are you? Ah! So why did you choose that one?
Because I think it would save a lot of time in every aspect of life.
And how will you channel? How would you focus on which minds you would like to read? For example, now, would you like to read everyone's minds?
That is a great question. I'm going to come back to you with that.
Okay. You ready?
Yes, we are ready? Okay. Then I have to start the timer, and big round of applause for Irina, and we start.
Hi, my name is Irina, and I'm one of the developers who work on Dask, and I'm going to try to make this a 1-minute demo. Because
5 minutes demo.
1 minute demo, because I have something very cool, but also very short to show you. For the last few weeks, we have been working on integrating arrow strings in Dask and making them easy to use and amazing. And this is how easy it is to turn on arrow strings in Dask right now. You set this one setting, Dask config set, data frame convert string to true, and you magically get all your X objects, D types, become PyArrow strings. I already have my cluster up, hopefully. Hopefully I still have it up. So I think so. I'm just going to read a data set. It's about 700 million records. It's NYC taxi data set that a lot of people work with and persist it into memory. And we'll see, it should take about 30 seconds, I think. I'm running the cluster with 15 workers here. My data should already have PyArrow D types. Okay, go ahead.
It's fine.
I said it's going to take 30 seconds. Okay, so while it's working, I'm going to tell you why PyArrow strings are so amazing, because they take roughly maybe 4 times as much space as your regular object strings. Okay, it's done. My D types are here. And now I'm going to do the same thing just with object strings. Change my config setting. Load the same data frame again. Again, it has to take about 30 seconds, but this time around, this is my second dashboard. Ooh, what happened here? Let's refresh it. Something had to break, you know. Okay, it's working now. Okay, this one though is running on a cluster with 45 workers. So if you work with Dusk, you might really want to try turning on PyArrow strings. You might just take your cluster size and make it 3 times smaller. And that's all I had to show you today. Thank you very much. If you have any issues with arrow strings in Dusk, it's relatively new. Please report it. We have a pinned issue in our repository to do that. We welcome all feedback, good or bad. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much. The next on the list would be Cornelius, but it's stroked through. Is Cornelius here and wants to give the talk? Or tomorrow? Be fast. Your slot was today, but no, okay, you can try tomorrow. Then the next one would be Benjamin. Yes, so come up and where is Irina?
Yeah, this is here.
Over there.
And I would like to know how many of you selected the flying abilities. So where are you going to fly?
Anywhere I want. I mean, like, if you can fly, where can you not fly to? Like, a world of...
Out of space?
I think that wouldn't work aerodynamically, but otherwise, yeah, why not?
Well, you can try it out once, right?
Yeah, but then I might, well, crash.
All right. Anybody else who wants to fly? How about you?
So basically the instinct of wanting to fly was born when I was watching Inception, and they talked about dreams and how you can do basically everything. And I read into lucid dreaming, and apparently you can fly in dreams, which sounds amazing. And I've managed to do that twice, but if it could be done in real life, that would be even better.
Yeah, let's hope for it that you can experience it real once. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, we are ready. So welcome Benjamin with Power Query and a big round of applause.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, so it looks maybe a little bit off topic, but it's at least on data. And so, what am I talking about? It's a tool by Microsoft, and it's an ETL tool. You'll hear that term, but we shouldn't use acronyms, so I say it's meaning extract, transform, and load. And it can be useful if you have to connect to various data sources and want to transform the data in a uniform language. Maybe there are other tools like that around. I would be interested. And the language is called M language. That's also, it's closed source, and it works in the editor that ships with this Power Query tool. And the tool that is inserted in the MS Microsoft tools, Excel and Power BI, and that is also where you load your transformed data to in the end. I want to talk about it because I had so much struggle with it, and maybe I can save you some. There is, that's how it looks. So it's a low-code thing. You can use a lot of buttons that generate code lines for you, and the code lines are always function calls. It's a functional language, this M language, and you have a global scope where you can access sheet name, for example, is a constant, and they call it parameter, and sheet is a query, and last call first is a function. So these three types of things you can access in the global scope, and on the right pane you see applied steps, and that is quite nice. You can look while you do your query, you can split it into single steps and look at the intermediate results. They are kind of local scope, so you cannot access them in other queries. If I would have other tables, like the sheet 1 table here, then I couldn't access the intermediate steps. Yeah, so it also has code, and that can be accessed from this editor, and you can even source control it with some open source initiatives. And that here shows you also how you get these intermediate steps. So we started with the step source, then we had the sheet 1 sheet selection step, and then I included a temporary step, like a temporary variable, and that's not used anywhere. So yeah, that's the way it's done to give you an opportunity to have local variables. Normally you would use them, but you don't have to use them subsequently. So yeah, I think I talked about that already. So there is global scope and local scope, and it's a functional language, and it's very important to remember that it's lazily evaluated. All those container types are not computed as a whole. The tool always just gives you a preview, about 1,000 rows or something. Therefore, it's no problem if you have infinite generators or something that they will not create so many memory entries. And it's non-typed, I would say. Yeah, you don't have to. It's like a bit like Python. It's not. I call it like that. And closed source. So you have to work with documentation, but the good thing is the tool is better than the documentation. And so if you are in iterables like lists and and you have to use you can use lambda functions in iterables. They call the iterables row context. And if you remember, it's a functional language, so you have no loops. You have to limit some stuff.
Very good. So it takes Power BI to fill the 5 minutes. Perfect. Where are you?
I'm here.
Up there. Yeah. You can already start. I try to figure out who's the next. It's the art of puzzle solving. Olga. Yeah, okay.
So I would like to know how many PyLadies members do we have in the audience? Can you stand up?
You need only HDMI?
Yes, HDMI.
PyLadies members? Yay! I'm sorry, you're high distance. So from which chapter are you?
Actually, I was just in the meetups of PyLadies, and we are trying to have also a meetup, hosting one of the meetups, and also have a presentation in PyLadies.
And where exactly? Like which location? Which city?
Berlin. At our company, Plan D, we would like to do that, so I'm in contact with PyLadies, and we're trying our best to do that.
Cool, cool. See you then tomorrow in the panel session.
There's another one.
Yes, I'm coming.
She was very happy.
So, which chapter are you in?
New York City.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's an applause.
How big is the community there?
It's not very active right now, but it used to be really big, yeah.
Nice, then tomorrow we'll discuss also more about that. Thank you.
Are you ready? Okay, so as I said, next one, the art of puzzle solving. Olga, stage is yours. Big applause.
All right, thank you very much. So the art of puzzle solving, strange title for a talk, right? So maybe I can refactor it into something that's a bit more familiar to us. Okay, problem solving, fine. But this is PyCon, so I suppose I have to stick Python in there somehow. But the truth is, I really do just want to talk about puzzles because they're really fun. Unfortunately, when you go on Google and you Google search the word puzzle, and then you Google search the word puzzle by images, you get jigsaws. This is kind of disappointing, right? Because puzzles is a lot more than just a jigsaw puzzle, and this relationship kind of makes me sad when people think about this when I say I do puzzles. Because puzzles is really a lot more than that, and I really want to talk about a class of puzzles called Puzzle Hunt. A puzzle hunt is an event where people, usually in teams, will solve a series of puzzles. You can think of it like a virtual escape room, but on steroids. And that is because in a puzzle hunt is a collaborative effort, and but to show a puzzle, it's easier for me to kind of explain what it is, right? Because it still doesn't explain what it is. So imagine a crossword, your favorite New York Times crossword. Then imagine it without a grid. Okay, fine, you can still reconstruct the grid, I suppose. Then imagine a crossword, and then imagine it without clues. Oops. What's going on? So then what if you have a circular grid? What if you have clues replaced with emojis, or multiple solutions, or made out of Morse code, where every answer, you put a dot or a dash in there? Or regular expression clues. I think some people might hear it like that. And all of it without instructions that tell you what to do. Is this even a puzzle? Or is this even a crossword? Well, I will be the first to admit this sounds a bit far-fetched, but I will also assure you that all of these exist. This is what counts as citations in our world. And all of these have been designed very carefully to lead you to a solution in the most satisfying way possible. But there's more than just crosswords. There's puzzles on wordplay, or on Nicolai grid logic puzzles, or ciphers. Last year I wrote a puzzle about reverse engineering a hash function. And so you can tell that these get very technical using math physics that you learned and forgot and then learned again. But on the flip side, they can also have pop culture references. And I've become a lot more proficient at programmatically sifting through the Pokemon database than I care to admit. So to formalize what is a hunt-style puzzle, a puzzle will present you some information in literally any form or topic imaginable, trust me, and then extract to an answer, which is almost always an English word or phrase. The commonality is you have no instructions, and that's up to you and your teammates to find out. Now, this process of going from data to solution should sound pretty familiar to all of us, so it's probably of no surprise that a lot of puzzle hunting community is dominated by people in the tech and research industry, which is why I'm telling it to you. So why do we do puzzles? It's because it involves some of the same lateral thinking and problem solving from the title talk that we use in everyday life. And also on the writing side, I said I have to include Python here somehow. On the writing puzzle side, it's like solving a puzzle by itself, merging web development, graphic design, data management, and here's some repos of some of the tools, the myriad of tools that have been designed to run a successful puzzle hunt. So now I do have to do some advertising about puzzle hunts. The biggest one in our world is the MIT Mystery Hunt. It is teams of more than 200 teams, up to 70 people per team, 150 puzzles or more over the course of a single weekend. And I really encourage you to look through the archives to see what crazy things people have come up with to be solvable in a competitive manner. And this event is the only one with a prize in our world. The prize is to write next year's mystery hunt, which me and my team can attest with many, many details. But I don't recommend starting with this one. It happens in January. This year is already over. I'm thrilled about that. I have my life back. And I actually recommend starting with a more beginner-friendly hunt, which is actually this weekend, the CMU puzzle hunt, which is much smaller teams, but maybe you will enjoy it. I hear it's good. And then the Microsoft puzzle hunt, which will be in a few weeks. Also check it out. And all of these are free to participate, and you can always find information on the puzzle hunt calendar. So with that, I'd like to thank you. And if you'd like to come talk to me about how to design a crossword without clues, I'll be more than happy to do so. Thank you.
Very nice, thank you. The next speaker There is no next speaker, it's just the title. It's good news. Who is it? Yeah. Hello, Anton. So, please do it. And
I think we need to include Puzzle Hunt next time in our data riddle as an option and see how big the community is. So, yeah, let's talk about the distance that you've traveled to Berlin. Who were traveling within 500-kilometer distance?
maybe we just sort. So here is 0, there is, oh no, maybe that's...
Okay. 500-kilometer distance?
More or less?
Well, could be exact also. So where do you come from?
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Nice. How is the weather?
The same as here, gray.
So no change for you then. All right. How did you travel, by train or by plane?
I must admit I took the plane. I felt bad about it, but the connection with trains is annoying.
We forgive you. That's fine.
You can choose one more. There's a group over there.
I hope my arm is long enough.
Where I'm from is the question. Okay, Frankfurt.
And how was Deutsche Bahn? How was Deutsche Bahn this time?
It was only 5 minutes delayed.
Oh, that's perfect.
Good.
And you're also from Frankfurt.
No, I'm from Hamburg. And I wasn't delayed at all, but I rarely am.
So we wish you good luck on your return trip as well.
Okay, so Anton, when you are, no, I'm not ready. Okay. Okay, so big applause for Anton. Good news.
Hi everyone, and welcome to my lightning talk. That's something I always wanted to say, so thanks for the organizers for making that happen. This is one of the completely off-topic talks, but Alexander mentioned meditation, I think, earlier, so I think this should be okay. So who is ready for some good news? We all need good news, right? So in German we have this saying, the best comes last, and this used to be the last talk, but I'm just going to pretend it is the last one, and there's still one to come, it's going to be great, but just pretend this would be the last one. I can do everything through ... So as Python developers, you know this is an ellipsis, so this statement is a stop actually. Can you complete the sentence in your mind? If you have like a really difficult problem, what is it that makes you able to find a solution? And we had Tabea earlier with her bread making experience, which is amazing. But imagine that she had a master baker at her disposal and like could ask questions to him. Or imagine you are like doing Python packaging, which is really hard, and maybe the BDFL for packaging, like Nick Coughlin, is like sitting next to you, and you could ask him questions. Would be great, right? Or maybe you could even ask Guido van Rossum, like, why is Python built like this? And he will tell you like, oh, back in 2000 something. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I don't know the date. I'm embarrassed. And now there's going to be like a plot twist. Maybe you didn't expect this coming, but I want to talk about something that is like very personal to me. So please don't. I don't mean this as this has to be the same for everyone. This is a personal notion, and I have like a favorite book, and it's like really old. Like parts of it are like 4,000 years old, I think. And it's called the Bible. So the Bible completes the sentence as this: I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Cool. And I totally know, and I do accept that not everyone can say this sentence and also believes it. But it's something that helps me tremendously, and that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. So maybe you don't know about Christ, or you're actively against Christ. Maybe you're thinking like, well, the church has done some terrible things Yes, it has. I'm sorry for that. But let's continue, because you're already here and I have 2 minutes left, and I would like to make a statement. Yeah, that's what it's called. And as the Bible is my favorite book, I'm going to read you one more passage, and it's this one. It says, God loved the people in the world so much that he gave his one and only son to save them. Which is like, can you imagine who of you has children? Yeah, me too. I have like a child, and he's like 2 years old, and I couldn't imagine for my life like giving him away. And it's not. So of course the God's son is Jesus, and it's not only about that. The son that was given away, he was you know the end of the story. So the passage doesn't end here, but it continues to go on to say, as a result, everyone who believes in the Son will not die, which is kind of cool, right? Instead, they will live forever with God. Strange thing to write, that they will not die because people who believe in Christ still die, right? So it's not about the death that we are thinking of, but it's like what happens at the end. So I teased at you and said, let's go back there. The best comes last, right? So what is last, actually? What happens at the end of your life? And you all have to find your personal answer to that question. I have found mine. I would be delighted if someone makes the choice to share and to join me, actually. I know this can be a controversial topic, so if you want to discuss, find this hat or this like kurz gesagt hoodie, and then we'll talk some more. Thanks.
It's somehow crazy times, because I would have bet 100 euros it's a talk about ChatGPT, but then you came up with Start, and I was like, Okay, so last one, we also only have a title, which is Proud to be a Gardener. David.
Yes. And I'll take the last question as well. Who does prefer working on site? Okay. Just give me a second. So, where is your office?
My office is in Bonn, but I actually do not work on site all the time, but only 2 days a week. But
Does it count that you prefer to work on site?
Yeah, well, my kids are going to school in Mannheim, Baden-Württemberg, so it's the best compromise I can make to see the team and my family, yeah.
And how big is the office? How big is the team?
The team is 7 people, and I think there's hardly a day on the week where everybody's in, but yeah, when that's the case, I enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Who else? What about you? How big is your office?
We're about 50 people in Munich.
And is it like fancy office in the center?
Yeah, it's in the center. I can bike there in 10 minutes, so I'm there quite often when my team is also there.
Yeah, pretty convenient. Yeah, happy for you. And you?
Biking to the office is also very important to me. And I go 3 days to the office a week. And I like to have lunch with my colleagues and talk about this and that. And I can't imagine a company that is only, where I have to work only remote.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. So we are...
Okay, yeah, I think we are under time pressure, because I guess if it's correct, we have to leave the building in 4 minutes. So, I can already share. So please then quickly move out of the building once it's finished. But you get your 5 minutes, and I hope BCC will forgive us. And let's give him a round of applause.
Don't read this yet. First eyes on me. Act like that's not there. So when I thought of this idea that I'm going to tell you about, my life has changed. The way I look at people, the way I look at my colleagues. and mostly what my colleagues are expecting me to tell them has changed a lot. And well, you're all programmers, you know what I mean. If I say I thought of this idea, I mean I stole it from someone, I copied it and showed it to my friends. And it's this idea that came from our good friend George R. R. Martin, American writer. You might know him from like fantasy books in the 80s. And he has this series called Wildcards. And some people also know him from like a small TV show called Game of Thrones that he wrote. And I'm a big fan of that. What I'm also a big fan of is what he said here. It's architects and gardeners. And I myself am a gardener. And the difference is, as George says, now you're allowed to look and read, is architects will not start doing their job until, or building until the plans are done and ready to be built. Gardeners will just throw some seeds on the floor, maybe plan what comes where, and then they're done, and they wait until it grows. They cut here and there, and in the end they have a beautiful garden. I'm a gardener programmer, so I will get a task from my boss and I will program it and I will see if it works, as I think a lot of people do but are afraid to admit. Because we are expected to be architects, but a lot of people here probably don't have a background in software development, but in mathematics, economics, whatever. And they've never learned the maxims of programming. Yes. This is all fine and good, and architects are very important. They build great products. Gardeners are very important. They build interesting products as well, but they build fast products mostly. If you put them together and an architect gets a task from a gardener, the gardener will say, just build this, I'll see each other next week. And the architect will, after a week, come back and be saying, it wasn't super clear to me what you wanted, and I tried to make something, but I don't know if it's correct. Where the gardener, you can say to give me X, Y, and it will be done. I notice always my colleague Daniel sitting here in the crowd. Oh, he's filming. Hey, Daniel. And he comes to me and he tells me, how do you want, he's a data engineer, he says, how do you want the data inserted? I say, these columns are these data types, make it the polygons, this data types, merge them, done. I have another colleague who I will name anonymous, and he comes to me with a question and I tell him just do this, and the next week he comes back to me asking me again because it wasn't super clear what he wanted, even though for me it was clear. Next time you talk to your colleagues and give them assignments, please consider, are they an architect or are they a gardener? It will save you a lot of trouble and extra explanation. You can also use it for the bad. Which I also like to do. If your boss ever asks you, why is this product not done? You tell them, yeah, these architects are still working on the prototypes. And if your boss comes and says, why is the product down? You tell him, yeah, I don't know, it's these gardeners, they're spaghetti code, I don't know how to fix their issues. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It could be if they legalize growing marijuana, next time we have to have our own track for growing indoor marijuana. Okay, so you know. So, as I said, please move out quickly. Don't run, but take your time, but move out quickly. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Bye.